October 2024, there were 4 levels, and then that changed to 3 levels. And CMS did send out communication informing people, hey, there are now 3 levels of LIS. Please let us know if you wish to opt in. If they chose not to opt in, then they were automatically disenrolled from the LIS program and would have to choose a Part D benefit, or they'd have to be in an MAPD. If they chose yes, then they just have to connect for those next 5 years so that they continue to do that 5 year look back, similar to what you see in the ACA, where they can do that 5 year look back on your income to make sure that you do qualify for that assistance. Now, the income and asset levels are different for low income subsidy or extra help. It is not the same as Medicaid. So it is important to understand that while somebody is eligible for low income subsidy, they may not be eligible for Medicaid. However, somebody that is eligible for Medicaid is often eligible for low income subsidy. The best way to go about the low income subsidy is to always apply for the burial expense to be included. So that means that they are using some of their money for burial expense, and that increases the income, but it more importantly increases the asset amount. So as you can see, there is a difference. When you don't include the burial, it's 16,590, but when you do, it's 18,090 for that individual. So it is important to have that conversation when you're applying for that individual, and also have the conversation just to see if they are eligible for low income subsidy. What I typically recommend for brokers, because when you say low income subsidy or LIS, people think immediately Medicaid, but they don't think that when you say extra help. So you can always say, hey, would you like to apply for low income subsidy or extra help? And when they ask, you just say, well, low income subsidy can help with your prescription costs. A lot of people on Medicaid have that, but extra help, that may help reduce the premium for the Medicare Advantage plan and also can help with your prescription drug costs as well. It's the same thing, same program. It's just wording it a little bit differently so that they feel a little bit more comfortable when they apply for it. Now, I did say there are 3 different levels for LIS, and you're going to say, Yosh, there are 5 levels here. What is going on? Level 1 is broken down 3 different ways, but level 3 is where we'll start. Those are for people that are typically in institutional eligible or waiver eligible. They did change that from 2025 to 2026. So a lot of people that were level 3 and they were full Medicaid, meaning that they were like QMB plus, are now level 2 and having to pay copays for their generics and their brand names that they were not used to. Level 3 will pay 0 for their copays on any type of prescription drug. They have a 0 deductible. All of them have a 0 deductible. Level 2 will have that $1.60 and $40.90 for the brand name. And then level 1 has $5.10 and $12.65. Now, it does break it down, as you can see there, for those different people, but pretty much anybody that is above 100% FPL got bumped into level 1. Now, for 2026 to 2027, it will change. LIS level 3 will still have 0 across the board. LIS 2 will be $1.65 and $5. And LIS level 1 will be $5.80 and $14.40. QMB, SLMB, and QIs will be $5.80 and $14.40, meaning they're LIS level 1. And then the Part D deductible, which is important. Right now, it's at $615. It will go up to $700. And the maximum out of pocket right now on Part D is $2,100. That will go up to $2,400 for 2026 to 2027. To apply for LIS, you do have to be eligible by having Medicare Part A and or Part B, in the United States. And then you either have to be enrolled in Medicaid, the Medicare Savings Program, receiving Social Security income, or have that level of QMB, SLMB, or QI. It will help to pay for part of the premium, not the full premium. So it is important to understand that. And then they will also have a 0 deductible, and it will follow their cost shares. Next, we're going to get into spend downs. So I have 2 examples here, and this is going to help you guys use your brain a little bit. So I am going to ask you to put it into the chat, okay? So beneficiary A and beneficiary B, they both have $1,600 a month for Social Security income. They both have a life insurance policy of $500,000. They both do not own a home, and they do have a vehicle, a primary vehicle, and they live a healthy lifestyle. They take very few medications, and they both applied for Medicaid. Beneficiary A has been charged to spend down while beneficiary B did not. Can anyone guess why beneficiary A received a spend down while beneficiary B did not? I'll give you a moment to put that into the chat. Going once, going twice, any takers? No? Okay. Well, the answer happens to be the fact that beneficiary A, their life insurance policy has a surrender value of $10,000 and therefore has a spend down of 340. What we don't realize with spend downs is that they calculate everything. That means that they look at your bank accounts, checking, savings, doesn't matter, your 401ks, your IRAs, your stocks, your bonds, CDs, mutual funds, life insurance. If your life insurance has a surrender value or a cash value, meaning that even if it was able to be purchased, because they do have those resale life insurance companies, and it exceeds $1,500, that is considered an asset and does count towards the spend down calculation. Equity in the home also counts if it exceeds $730,000. If you have a secondary vehicle, if you have a motorcycle, boats, those are all considered additional vehicles, unless the boat is where you actually reside.